I want to talk to you about this study.
Okay.
That takes a look at what lesbian, gay, bisexual men and women face in sports, what they're up against when they are playing sports on any level, and the level of homophobia that they might face. Mm-hmm. What did this study say?
Well, so it's this first of its kind international study of, I think, almost 9,500 athletes, both gay and straight, majority LGBT, or LGB, sorry. Found overwhelming amounts of homophobia that they had faced.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was 82% said that they had experienced homophobia. To which, when I tweeted it out, I got several people who said the other 18 might be lying.
I was going to say, 82 sounds low. Or,
right.
Yeah.
But, you know,
so were these professional athletes?
I think it's at all levels.
At all levels.
You know, and the interesting thing is how broad it is at the youth level. Mm-hmm. Which I think is where, you know, kind of, you understand that. Having anyone who's played youth sports, I think, probably understands that. But, you know, that I think the key takeaway for me is that's kind of the area where you got to start this.
Yeah.
You know, the PE class. And those are the places where people start playing sports. And that's kind of the recommendation they made is, you know, PE class and youth sports are these very bad places for homophobia.
Yeah.
And you're turning people off to sports right there. And, you know, we shouldn't do that. The other broad takeaway was that I think it was almost 2/3 said that they don't think that sporting events are safe spaces for gay, lesbian, and bisexual people, which is, you know, should get the attention of the leagues.
Yeah. That's a good point.
To say, look, if you're turning away fans because they don't think these games are safe spaces, that might not be the reality, but that's the perception in those communities. And in that sense, it is the reality.
You look at the reaction that the gay community had when Jason Collins came out of the closet, who was an okay basketball player, right? Which doesn't matter, but he was an okay basketball player. My only point in bringing that up is that he had the #1 selling jersey on the NBA store.
Same with Michael Sam.
Sam.
And you know, Robbie Rogers in MLS has gotten such a great response.
He's creamy. I mean, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
He's also of the three men that have come out, he's the best in his sport.
Most talented.
But it's a sport that Americans care the least about.
Sure.
Yeah.
By a long shot there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I can just speak very briefly to my experience as a young closeted gay male who grew up playing sports, playing soccer mostly. I was not very good at it. I think that has nothing to do with my sexuality so much as my physique and natural coordination. I went to, I grew up in liberal environments. I went to liberal schools where I played this, and I was never picked on in any way of this, but there's a language of the locker room that is very, very tough, especially when for someone who's trying to struggle with what it means to be young and gay, where it equates masculinity with straightness and weakness with being gay.
Right.
And it's something you internalize, and it's something I think that falls under the category that gets derided a lot of microaggressions. Because I was never taunted. I never saw anyone really, really taunted. Like, I went to very safe spaces, but it was something very internalized by me that took a while to get over and to deal with. And I don't blame anybody for this. There is a boys being boys aspect of it, but I think what it means to be a boy and to have these conversations in the language we use needs to change. It needs to start at a young age. And there are plenty of ways you can be jocular and you can goof around with people and you can, rag on your friends.
Without calling them a sissy.
Exactly. Without it delving into the level of sexuality equals weakness.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we've all heard it.
Of course,
we've all heard it, and it's okay. It's acceptable.
I would bet
coaches have said it to me.
We've all participated in one way or the other.
Oh, of course.
Myself very much included.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's an interesting point about when to confront it, when to point it out, when you shine a light on that, get it all out in the open, make sure we know. It's not okay to do that.
Right.
Don't
and
do
I think,
that.
Some of the organizations have done that. The You Can Play, which was involved in this report somehow, I think they were a sponsor, they've run their video campaigns that include high school athletes.
Yeah.
They've partnered with the NFL to reach out to youth athletes. I think you really have to do that. And I think using the leagues to do that is a big thing. And I think the more athletes that come out
It's important.
Will help. I mean, I think if you look at Robbie Rogers or Jason Collins, you know, or the reception they got from their teammates.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, so many teammates were so positive about these people that did come out. They don't care. Look, I know it exists on a professional level, but so many of these professional athletes were like, we don't care. I remember when Jason Collins came out, I forgot who it was, but one of his former teammates on the Wizards tweeted him and said, hey, congratulations, now work on your turnaround jumper.
Yeah. Well, and Kevin,
that's what matters.
Right, and Kevin Garnett said, you know, Kevin Garnett, who you talk about that like idea of masculinity, who's like the trash talking, like the guy we think of as probably the biggest, you know, one of the biggest tough guys in the NBA, like basically said, he's here, he's going to help us win. And that's what I care about.
Absolutely. And we're seeing it actually.
I think it has to go a step beyond that.
Yeah.
You know, I think it can't stop it. He's going to help us win. I think you have to go to that next step of, but it's, you know, he is who he is, and we're cool with that.
And bringing it so much farther down than the professional. Showing people when they're impressed.
And I think we're starting to see the way led by a lot of high schoolers, actually. You see stories happening all the time. And this is, you know, the younger generation just don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you're starting to see kids come out in high school. It's making national news. It'll stop soon enough. It makes a difference. There was a sports, but about homosexuality in general, that a 20-minute conversation can change people's minds on homosexuality, and the effects last.
Right.
And this is across the board. So when you have these kids starting to, you know, on teams saying I'm gay and coming out, it does change the culture there. And now we just need to find the folks who are willing to foster those environments where they make it okay to come out.
Well, and that's what I think when you look at this report and it talks about PE classes, this should be on schools.
Yes.
Like in such a big way, this should be on schools to say, like, you know, sports, PE is obviously as part of your academics. Extracurricular sports are part of your school experience. Those should be safe spaces, and the schools should make sure they are.
Absolutely.
Like, it's on teachers, it's on coaches, it's on administrators, you know, it's on parents.
It's on parents.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we just right up against the break, so I got to interrupt. 47 minutes past the hour. My name is Peter Ogburn, Jonathan Levy, Bill Press, order for Think. Travis Waldron.org. Travis Waldron. After a quick break.
Bill Press.